All right, well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy
This
Thanksgiving!
episode will drop right before Thanksgiving. And we finally went back to what we usually do. We have some food before we start the podcast.
And in honor of Thanksgiving,
And Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving's the food holiday.
although we didn't go American, though.
No, we went Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Because we have a new Vietnamese restaurant in Kingman that just dropped. They're still
That sounds weird.
dropped.
Vietnamese in Kingman.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we are becoming more diverse, I think. It'll
Yeah, I mean,
it'll still take decades.
we are getting better food choices. And
Right.
the Kino Kitchen.
Yeah, folks, if you don't know, a way to kind of explain Kingman's food choices here, options. We're like a fast food town, right? We've got all of them.
Right.
We've got all the fast foods, and some of them we have more than one.
Yeah.
of the chain.
And we even have the higher end ones like In-N-Out.
Oh yeah, we do have an In-N-Out because In-N-Out has like some sort of requirement, like they want to be able to build their place off of a highway, so they get a lot of business.
Yeah. And we have
Yeah.
five guys.
Yeah, because interesting thing about In-N-Out, guess where they're branching into now? I heard this the other day.
Where?
New Mexico.
Really?
They're moving over now into Mexico.
So
they plan
they're
on
slowly going east.
Yep, they plan on putting some stores up there. I bet probably off the 40 because the 40 runs through there.
And let's see. For burgers, though, I think the best one in town is Culver's for burgers.
Culver's is good, but I like In-N-Out's burgers. I don't care too much for their fries because I feel like they're not cooked enough, but
Yeah.
that's just me.
McDonald's has the best fries.
Yeah, McDonald's probably will always
Well,
have the best
whatever.
fries.
Whatever they do. It's
I don't know
grease.
what kind of
They don't-
magic they do with those
They
fries.
don't clean the grease trap or something like that.
Probably, yeah. All that grease just makes it more delicious. Huh?
But so the Vietnamese place, the mistake we made though, we went too soon because it going during the soft opening.
Yeah.
So they have their full menu online, but you get there and nothing's really available.
Yeah, they only have a few options. But from what we had, it's good.
Yeah.
It's, hopefully, hopefully it'll get better too. Hopefully they'll have that whole menu because there were like so many things that I was super excited to try. And I'm like, oh, damn. But yes, still amazing to have more options than just the fast food chains here.
Yeah, in Mexican restaurants.
Yeah, and some of those are better than others, There's some that aren't that great.
Yeah, we have two Taco Bells, one Del Taco, and then some real authentic ones.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like the place up Wallapai Mountain Road, they're really good. Have you been there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're drinking some Tsingtao Asian beer. Going with our Asian
or
theme.
Tsingtao. I don't know how you say it. We're probably fucking it up, but it's pretty good. Not bad.
So,
Go along with our Asian meal.
So big Thanksgiving. It's all about you. Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving?
I'm probably going to go to Hot Springs to get my relax on before shit goes crazy, for the holidays.
Yes, things get busy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What are you doing?
My kids don't eat shit, so...
So you just eat whatever?
I do a turkey breast in the air fryer. It comes out perfect.
Oh, cool.
And then it's not too much.
Then do you do, like, the sides and whatnot, too?
I don't go out. I'm just stuffing in the rolls, and
And mashed potatoes?
I don't even do mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know why my kids are, like, autistic with food. I mean, I can't stand the texture of mashed potatoes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you could do a baked potato instead, if you like that.
I don't know. I don't want to cook too much either.
Right.
So...
Make it easy.
So, but let's talk about food, though. We've thought about this for a while on this podcast, and I think a lot of our problems in this, with just the way we are in this country, with our health has to do with what kind of foods that we're eating. Like I saw this report, and it said like they graded all these companies on how effective they are at keeping pesticides out of their foods.
Uh-huh.
And there was only a couple companies that got a C grade on it. And they found that in 90% of green beans and blueberries,
Ew.
there are concerning findings about the amount of pesticides on them. The farmers worldwide spend $60 billion on pesticides. Now, of course, you don't want, bugs eating your crops and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But shouldn't there be a way to get this stuff out of the food?
You would think.
You would think.
And it's like, I don't understand why rich people don't care about it either. I mean, where are they getting their food from? Like,
well, the same place.
I mean, yeah, it's like so you would think that they would have been the ones to like set the standards, unless they have some magical farms that their stuff comes from.
But okay, they're fighting pesticides in some of these companies now. Getting a D rating is Nestle, like Nestle chocolate.
Yeah,
okay,
I think candy bars when I think Nestle.
Yeah. Okay, well, where's the pest? Well, I suppose. You saw the John Oliver thing on Cocoa.
Oh, God, yeah.
If you like chocolate, I don't recommend you watch this episode.
Who knew that that's what chocolate looked like before it became chocolate?
Yeah, it looks like...
an alien?
Yeah, like the alien. Like when the aliens are in the pods and it opens up and that goop that's in it, it looks like that. And somehow they refine it into cocoa.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Well, I mean, technically the goop is cocoa, but they refine it into powder, which eventually becomes chocolate. So Nestle's a D rating. Some of the F ratings, Mars, again, chocolate and candy. Kraft and Heinz, F rating.
The guy that owns the Patriots.
Yeah.
Right? Robert Kraft.
Yeah. And Heinz, John Kerry and his wife.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that his wife is the Heinz heiress.
Yeah. Del Monte, F rating. Smuckers. So there's pesticides in that jam that you're eating. Jams and jellies. Yeah.
I don't eat their jams and jellies.
General Mills. So you got pesticides in your cereal.
Cereal? Oh.
My God. It's like, so we're basically eating poison every day. And you wonder
probably why there's so much cancer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. These pesticides lead to cancer, asthma, and anxiety.
Well, that explains why I have anxiety then.
Yeah. It's pesticides. And you know how we're always complaining about, America, don't get us wrong, we don't hate the United States, but, we always go around touting we're number one. But we are number one in this area. Obesity.
Oh, yeah. We're kicking ass.
Yeah. 41% of the population is considered obese.
That's almost half.
49% between Black and Latinos are considered obese. Now, I think this all goes back to the whole socioeconomic shit that we talk about a lot, where it costs a lot to eat healthy as opposed to eating like trash.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just think we can kind of do better on that. But the problem being is...
Of course, I don't really think that fruits and vegetables are expensive, though.
No.
Produce isn't that bad. Like, because I've done like the vegan diet. Like, I did that just to try it out, do a 30-day vegan challenge to see what the hype was. And my food bills were pretty low.
Is it easy to do the vegan challenge?
No, I don't know. When you've been raised like as a meat eater your whole life, it's hard to say you're never going to eat things again, that.
Were you full on vegan though? No dairy products, no
Yeah, for
eggs?
the month I did the full on vegan. Like no, not even honey. You can't have honey either. It's
See,
it comes from bees, but
I couldn't do that.
I know. And I can't do it. Like I can't be a full on vegan. But you know what I did learn from it? Like there's days where I'll do like meatless, whatever, like meatless Mondays or whatnot. There's days where I'll eat like all vegan because I won't be having any dairy either. I've drastically reduced dairy too. Like the milks, I don't use real milk. I use like oat milk. I prefer the oat milk, but I'll use like oat milk, almond milk, coconut milk.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do the other milks. So
That's probably good.
I don't drink a lot of milk anyways. I mean, we're talking like putting stuff in my coffee and whatnot. Like
I should do more milk, actually. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. So if I could, if everybody like out there, like, hey, happy Thanksgiving. Look what I mean, even the turkey, right? So
Probably full of antibiotics, right?
full of antibiotics because you want to plump it up.
You got to make them fatter because Americans love their food.
Right.
Which we do. Don't get me wrong. I love food too.
Right. Yeah. You got to pump up the turkey. But then the turkeys eat grains, which are probably full of pesticides. So now the pesticides are getting inside the turkey.
Yeah.
And then you're eating the turkey.
Like I wish that we could do something about the portions, but I know like that would piss off so many people. They almost every time I go out to eat, I have to bring half of it home. It's just huge. Like I'm like, if I tried to eat all that, I'd be throwing up at the table,
Yeah.
Like it's too much.
Well, you saw me with the Vietnamese. I just had a small portion, and
Yeah. And I told you to take the leftovers. I'm like, yeah, just take them.
shit. Well, I guess we'll be thinking about that while we're out there, enjoying all of our food. Need cranberries. I'm sure there's pesticides in that too.
Oh, yeah.
Got depressed. And like microplastics. There was that report today that said like microplastics are now in the clouds.
Yeah, microplastics in the water. They found them in sea life. When they've dissected sea life, they find...
Well, of course, because you have all that big floating mass that's bigger than Australia out in the Pacific Ocean. That's just all junk.
Right, yeah.
Stuff like that.
And then that's all in our sea life.
It gets into fish. And then,
Fish, the whales, all of it. The ocean's full of plastics.
Yeah.
People throw their trash out there.
Now it's in the
Sad.
clouds, so now it gets into our drinking water.
Yeah, and I don't know how anybody can say that that's not caused by humans. Nobody else invented plastics. Yeah. They didn't, you know what I mean?
But that can't be good for you. Like ingesting plastic cannot be good for you.
That's probably a cause to cancers too. I mean, when you ingest stuff like that, okay, so isn't cancer basically like abnormal cells? So wouldn't stuff like that cause the cells to become abnormal? If you're putting poisons and plastics and whatnot in there?
Well, I don't know. I guess we shouldn't claim to be scientists.
Yeah, and these, we must state.
Yeah,
these are our opinions. These are our opinions. We have not been in a lab researching this, so we should get that out there. But I'm just saying, like, if you looked at it like common sense, I'm like, oh, well, that would make sense to me because of this, like that would make sense.
Yeah, and as we learned last week on Bill Maher, that people shouldn't be just giving their opinions if they're not informed, except for Bill Maher.
Well, of course, shouldn't you be allowed to give your opinions if we're going to go off of everyone has the right to free speech? I mean, opinions are free speech. If money's free speech, if the Supreme Court has ruled that money is free speech, this is not a lie. You can look that, a simple Google search will tell you that. The Supreme Court agreed that money is free speech so that they could have politicians being bought. How in the fuck are opinions not free speech? You know, if money, like $1 is free speech,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah, and, you know, it's the whole thing is now we all have a platform, whether it be Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. We all have the platform or podcast. Everybody has a podcast that you can put out your opinions out there into the world. Now, but that's just
other people are allowed to ignore them. That is your right too. You are allowed to ignore the opinions of others, or you are allowed to comment on it too and give your opinion also. You know, like I just get tired of all the fucking fighting. It's so ridiculous.
Right. That's why you talk about food instead.
Right.
Until you look at what's
why we're talking about food. Yeah. Until we have to learn that, now we can't even talk about food because there's shit in food that shouldn't be in food.
Yeah. Well, and that gets all into this divisiveness and shit and I get sick of it too. And as I explained on the last podcast about my Facebook page, but I started another one and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to add the hard right people. Mm-hmm. Okay, the ones that put all they do all day long is post political stuff. I'm not going to put them. And I'm not even add the far left people either.
Right.
But I still found in my Facebook feed, without even searching any kind of political stuff, I was still getting right-wing political articles on my page.
Facebook feels like they know what's best for you, like what you want to see, obviously.
Well, their
algorithms.
They must have just looked at my location and said, okay.
This guy'd probably be into some Trump shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not on social media at all, but I understand you not wanting to follow the extremities of either party. First off, there's no mystery there. We pretty much know, like, once I feel like I have something figured out, don't you feel like you don't need to waste a whole lot of time on it anymore? Like, you're like, okay, got that one, you know. I figured that out. Like, you know, don't need to really worry about it. So that's how I would pretty much feel about the extreme polar opposites. You know, it's like there's really no mystery there. I'm just going to have to hear the same stuff that they always tout over and over again. There's no room for discussion. There's basically, when you're that far apart, all there is the fighting. Right?
Yeah, so you're right. It's come to...
It's just the fighting.
And this goes to Thanksgiving, because obviously people are going to get together and have, you know, talk about current events at Thanksgiving dinner, and it always turns into fighting.
Right.
You know, because people don't have conversations anymore. You have people that they just wait for the other person to finish so they can start speaking.
Right.
And their opinion is what's right. And I think... probably due to all the pesticides we ingest, we lack critical thinking to look at the other point of view and go, okay, let me look at that. Let me think about how this other person feels and how that person, part of what they're saying may be right. Part of what they're saying.
But they don't even do that.
Yeah.
Anymore.
And I used to think Bill Maher was decent at that. But he seems to gone more to the fact of, no, what I'm saying is right. My opinion is what's right. If you disagree with me, you're wrong.
My problem with him lately is he's seemed to be gone to the fact of not as funny anymore. Like, I'm like, I at least would want to hear some jokes. Haven't I been saying for years that every chance I get, that when a comedy special will pop up, and I'm like, oh, okay, this says that it's like from part of the description, I'm like, all right, this sounds like they probably lean more towards the right, you know, like, so let me give it a whirl, and I'll watch it, and I'm like, But your guys' shit isn't even... You got to learn how to take the bitching part and make that funny, because you're just up there bitching. You're just up there bitching and nagging, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear, like, the bitching and nag. That's what podcasts are for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, stuff like Saturday Night Live does do a good job of making fun of Biden.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because it's funny.
Right.
And it's not just somebody that's up there sounding like they're an old man, you know, complaining.
And that's exactly how Bill Maher sounds now. He just sounds like the get off my lawn guy, you know? Like when he's sitting there doing some of the skits, he's just saying what transpired. It's like, okay, now where's the jokes? Where I came here for the jokes. I thought you ran a comedy show. Your show is described as being comedy, like a comedic take on politics. Where's the funny? Bring the funny. I came here to laugh. I was all on board for bringing the laughs, dude. But I need you. I need you to give me something to laugh at.
Well, one thing that he rails against is younger people, and it's been kind of a bigger theme. Now he's always kind of done that. Seems to be getting worse over the last year or so. But like studies are coming out that young people are seriously considering leaving the country.
Yeah. I read a survey about this recently. 56% of the young people surveyed, 56% of Zoomers are seriously considered. They have looked into what it would take to move to another country. We're talking like your European countries, you know. So to Bill Maher, thinking that they want to go, what the fuck ever he comes up with. Okay, but like, no, we're talking like your Scandinavian countries. And the reasons being, their top reasons were they want to go to a country where there is universal health care and college. And some of those European colleges, they even pay you to go to college. Okay, it's not only free, they pay you in some countries. So those were their top reasons. Their other reason, another main point they made was they were sick and tired of the political fighting, like our political discourse in this country. They've had enough of it. It's toxic to them, which it is. It should be toxic to everyone. Then another hot point was they want to go to a country where they're not going to die by gunfire, by mass shooting, because of we're probably number one in that too. We've got to be number one in dying by gunfire.
Gotta be.
It's for sure. If these people are looking to have children, the leading cause of death for children, and you can look this up, a simple Google search will tell you this, that children, their number one cause of death is gunfire. Now, it is now gunfire. That is what kids die from the most.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just crazy.
So.
It's crazy. Yeah, so I guess, so as you sit down, you're enjoying your Thanksgiving dinner, toxic conversations, toxic food.
And of course I will say.
Toxicity.
I do not believe, maybe, does that make me a Zoomer? Because I'm actually a Gen Xer by birth, but
yeah.
I want to move.
Yeah.
I want to move, but that's because, I want to move to a prettier place where things grow and I get to be by water. You can't have that in the desert. No disrespect to the desert. It's been my home for 48 years now, but I'd like a change of scenery.
Are you talking like secluded? Like I could deal with that. You wouldn't want to be secluded?
That sounds cool, but like I want to be...
I'm not talking about like a desert isle, but I'm talking like a secluded location.
No, I want to go live like... I'm really looking forward to visiting the Mediterranean, like the old cities. And they have like good public transportation there because not a lot of people own cars to begin with. I'd like to live in the town, close to the water though, to where I can walk to like the fresh local markets and get my food for the day. Like that seems like peace to me, go and get all those...
Yeah. and be
amazing wines that they make for like, you can buy wine for like $3 a bottle, you know,
and be like
fresh bread and, you know,
be like off the grid where you're
seafood.
not really hearing the news.
Right,
too.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't have to hear if I'm sure that they do American news in other countries, but maybe I wouldn't even want to. I'd be like, you know what? Since I'm a guest in somebody else's country, maybe I should just sit things out and just be good and be quiet here. You know, let's just enjoy the beauty.
Just shut off everything.
I will keep my mouth shut. Like, yeah, I am on your turf. Maybe I should just shut up and enjoy my life.
I think that would be the way to live. You eat fresh food
right.
that's grown near you, fresh bread.
Well,
and then you get away, you just shut off the news, you just enjoy the weather and
enjoy the scenery.
Shut everything else off.
Like, I mean, getting back to what you were saying too earlier about like the whole opinions. I am increasingly like more and more, I will catch myself sometimes in my own head. I give a lot of opinions on this, you know, but this is what we're here to do. We're having a podcast. You know, in regular everyday life, I'm constantly telling myself in my brain, just shut up. It's not worth it. It's not worth you know what your opinion is, girl. Just keep it to yourself. You know, don't even engage, because then that's just, you don't even know what it's going to start anymore. You don't even know what a simple comment will do to somebody else. So just don't say anything. Just be quiet.
Yeah.
Enjoy the silence.
Even we're getting to the holiday season now. We're close to Thanksgiving and getting into the Christmas season, and you don't know whether to say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas.
You know what I will say too is like about that. I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about that. I deliver to a lot of Trumpies. Okay. Most of them say fucking Happy Holidays. What is the deal with the whole? Because I thought it was a problem on the right. The right's always like, we can't say Merry Christmas. And so I'm always prepared. I say whatever somebody says to me, I say it back to them. I go, Merry Christmas. They say Happy Holidays, I say Happy Holidays. The thing that I don't get is, why wouldn't you want to just say Happy Holidays? Happy Holidays covers Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It covers all of them. Yeah. Shit, it could cover Valentine's Day, 4th of July. And technically, if you're just saying Happy Holidays, what's so wrong with saying that? You're covering all bases. You're wishing them well for the entire year.
I wonder if that, though, is really something that is really a problem, or if it's just this fake thing that certain news outlets put out just
That's what I think it is. That's where I was going with that. I think it's all propaganda, fucking bullshit to get people fighting and arguing with one another. It's like, I'm going to say Happy Holidays because I'm an American, and aren't we supposed to be lazy? It's an easier thing to say.
And have you ever had anybody get offended by you saying like the wrong thing, like Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays?
Never.
Has anybody?
Not once. Not once.
I couldn't imagine, you know, like me saying Merry Christmas to someone and the person, oh.
In fact, one of the guys, this one customer, he was doing a funny too. He's like, he said it out loud in front of, it was like kind of like in the town part. So he said it like in a place where other folks were around. So, and he's a real cool guy. And he's like, he makes fun of both, you know, he makes fun of right and left. So he's like, he says out loud, really loud, he goes, Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you may celebrate, I hope you have a great time. You know, like he made it like, kind of like a dig to the other people who are the, you know, because, you know, there are some people who probably do get pissed because of the news outlets that they've watched and telling them that they're supposed to be outraged over this. And if you're a person that's watching Fox News 24/7, you know, then you are going to be
like how
parroting.
Like how it all started, and I think you were right a couple episodes ago where you said you think it started at Starbucks.
Yeah, with the Cubs. They got mad.
Do you really think someone picked up that cup and said, "Let me speak to your manager."
No, I think that the spoiled news anchor had a cup, got coffee, or excuse me, they didn't go get the coffee themselves. They probably had an intern go do
got
it.
the cup.
And then they came back and they're like, "Oh, we could make a whole thing on this. What are they doing writing happy holidays on our cups? Where's my Merry Christmas?"
Right.
We could totally get people pissed over this.
And I might give Tucker Carlson credit for it. I don't know if he did or not, but actually that was good. It's a slow news day. Tucker's like, "What am I going to talk about tonight?" And then he gets his coffee.
He looks over. "I've got it. Starbucks has given me the answer."
It's a war on Christmas.
And we already hate Starbucks over at this network anyways because they're too far left anywho for our liking.
Huh. I think we solved an issue there.
Yeah, it was probably intended so they could put another dig against Starbucks because Starbucks, I'm glad that a lot more of Starbucks locations are unionizing and voting to unionize, but I would say that they probably have treated their employees better than the other coffee chains,
Yeah. So,
but they still need to unionize.
So on that note, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving or happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We'll say both.
And enjoy your toxic turkey or ham. And your uncle watches too much Fox News.
Oh, yeah, he'll be there. You can have lovely discussions.
And we will be back after the Thanksgiving break.
Yep.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
So, see ya.